Yay, we're live. Gosh, it's a hot day. Thank you so much for joining me, Eric, and folding things. Much appreciated. So, again, I hope it's okay if we wait a few minutes because often it takes people a little while to arrive. I don't know about you. I presume you're both in the UK, but it's so hot. And I've been, I guess, wanting to make a fan. Makes me feel a little bit cool. And I just thought of this as kind of quite playful and quite free. And it's also often used as a sort of symbol of peace. I like the idea of it turning. So it is a simple one, but it's lovely. I think it works well. So I will be showing you, if you can, obviously go and grab some paper, possibly some pens, and also, if possible, a drawing pin. I think a drawing pin is better than a pin. I found a pin definitely too wobbly, hard to push in. If you've got a stick, this is a lollipop stick that I happen to still have. If you have some kind of stick, that will help. And sorry, there's so many things on this list today. If you happen to have some Pritt stick, I think it will help. Hello, Stephen. Thank you so much for joining us. So Pritt stick might help. You don't have to use it, but it does work well. So I'm going to just demonstrate as well. She says, I think it actually go this better. So blowing into little pockets. It blows rather well. Hello, Penny. So thinking about how hot it is and thinking it'd be nice to make a little fan. Obviously, blowing air is generally definitely not a good thing to do around others. So this is just a little quiet pleasure for yourself. But I must say, I've been finding it quite delightful. It's a traditional toy, really, but it also makes quite nice decorations. So, as I was saying, if you can get some paper, if possible, a drawing pin and a stick. Maybe even if you have any pens to decorate them, if you feel like it. Possibly Pritt stick will help the shape. So this is one without using any glue, and it's kind of quite open. And this one I've used a little bit, which helps the shape. But they both work well. This probably looks a little bit more fan-like. Yeah, you have to go the right way around, don't you? But they're lovely pieces of engineering. And I just thought, classic thing. Actually, I hadn't made this before. I'm surprised how beautiful this is. And I've rather enjoyed making them. This time, well, it was a little bit earlier than a year ago, but I went to Korea and went to the area that's in between North and South Korea, the demilitarized zone, which of course is very militarized. And there were lots and lots of fans, and that was real symbols of peace that were turning around. They weren't origami, but I imagine that they could be. And there's lots of origami in Korea as well as Japan too. So I think of there, and we travelled on a little train. It's strange that it would be a tourist site, but it's covered in decorations about peace and about hope. And I found that really interesting because it's a place that you wouldn't really associate with being peaceful, would you? Really, somewhere that's of so much tension and so much conflict. But there they are. Yep, the demilitarized zone. A very lovely buffet there, actually. Strangely, it was surprisingly interesting. But I felt quite positive that actually that it's about celebrating peace and hope. And so there were peace parks, full of fans and hope that one day that people will be together. Yeah, can't imagine. I'd expect to see a lot of origami in Korea, and actually a lot of the origami papers that are sold from the British Origami Society, mostly from Korea, tend to be plainer actually than the Japanese papers, and apparently used in schools very much for children and in society. I didn't see much origami around, actually. I did see more in Japan. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'm just chatting away. It's partly because I'm waiting for people to join. I hope you don't mind me doing quite a simple one this week. And just to let you know, as I entitle this as well, this will be the last live fold this month. Then from September, consider it every week again. I just thought I ought to give myself a break. It's been 21 weeks and I've been really keen to keep committed. And I have to say it's raised my spirits personally, I really hope it's helped you as well doing something live. But I just thought I ought to break routine and not be a hypocrite that my own well-being matters too. So just to encourage you as well to also take a break. Obviously, it's very hard not going away, so it's very tempting to continue doing what you're doing. But if there's some way to give yourself a break, a bit of a change, it feels certainly like a different country with this heat. Yeah, this heat, simple is good. Yeah, and I wondered actually whether the heat would just put people off. Actually, you just don't want to do anything. Oh, thank you, Eric. Thank you. I appreciate that. Then I can come back with even more energy, or at least, have enjoyed a bit of a break. It'll mean I'll be looking forward to it. I'll share some Korean origami stuff on Facebook. That would be amazing. Oh, wow. Oh, that would be brilliant. Yeah. It's so funny that I didn't see any there. I did spot, I think maybe some kind of origami organization just from we were traveling in a bus and I saw that in Seoul. So we're in Seoul. Yeah. And of course, you can always spot origami in adverts. I think it's the same here. The origami is very popular in photos because it looks so good, doesn't it? Why isn't everyone doing origami? We all know it's beautiful. And often it's the simplicity which just strikes your eye. But I've been very happy to learn this one. It's given me great joy. So I hope by blowing it, obviously don't do that if you're around anybody else, unless it's your same household that you're in. Hello, Wendy. Excellent. So a few more people have arrived. So I think we might as well get going. We've waited 5 minutes. Hope you don't mind the usual little chat. And it's so hot. So I think the more distraction we have, the better. I don't know what you've been doing to pass by the heat, but it certainly makes me thankful that it's not normally this hot. Doing something is usually the best way. So as I've suggested, if you can, that's a good idea, from thick tracing paper. Great. Yeah, that way it would be waterproof. That's a really good idea. Oh, love it. That's brilliant, Eric. Excellent. Yeah, so paper, if you have tracing paper, whatever you'd like to make it, and it's the principle anyway. I've rather enjoyed colouring mine in as well, adding a little bit of colour to make it unique. If you have a drawing pin and a stick, maybe a lollipop stick, doesn't matter if you don't. I mean, you can blow on it, or maybe you can push it into a pencil, but a drawing pin I think is better than a pin. And these are also called a pinwheel, I think, as well. And I don't know whether it's about putting the pin into the wheel and then it spins. But it's nice that this is, again, a little piece of engineering. It's simple in principle, but endlessly fascinating. Right, so I've got my paper. Right, here goes. Hopefully you've got your paper as well. So it is a simple one, but as I said, yeah, I think it's good simple when we're all hot, potentially a little bit bothered. So I'm going to make mine certainly half the size of an A4 piece. Possibly make it even smaller. I thought actually I did this one out of a little scrap of paper and it's kind of cute. So whatever you've got. Again, I tend to be nice and exact. Give it a good strong fold. It's what gives it, lets out a little bit of pressure. Helps give it strength. And if you've given it a good strong fold, nice and exact, you can also just easily whip it. And this is something I wasn't really doing before. These sessions on YouTube during lockdown, but I've been keen to encourage people that they don't need special equipment. So the tearing I've rather enjoyed actually. Gives a nice little rough surface. So again, we're making our square, so lining up the surfaces. You may already have some nice papers, I don't know. But it also works with plain and you can decorate it too. Excellent. So getting rid of this rectangle. There we go. Yeah, and if you've got any origami you want to share, inspire other people, please do. There's the Facebook group, Origami to Beat Boredom. Join the fold. And also Twitter, I tend to share quite a lot under @Dr. Lizzie Burns. So that's another way. So all I've made simply is a square. So your next step is simply to fold it in half. And I do love with origami that it's valuing the simple as well as the complex. And actually also the repetition too. So you may well have done this. I'm sure you've done this before. Very likely. But that's okay, isn't it? You can enjoy revisiting it and yeah, finding comfort in that too. So the outside, we're then going to fold into the middle. And as always, do say if if I need to explain something, you're not sure, I'm here to help. And it's so lovely that you're all sending messages. It really helps me feel you're there. And of course, once you're starting to fold, it's pretty hard to do that, isn't it? At the same time. So I fold the outside to the middle. So fully expect that when you're folding, it all goes quiet on a live stream. That's right. And the other side, fold into the middle. Simple joys here. There we go. Lovely. So our next step is turning round and simply folding in half. Like so. There are not many steps to this one. So we did a more complex modular one. I may come back to some more modular ones because I saw actually a lot more people were following. They're doing complicated ones, even though I'm trying to encourage people to just get started. So that's why I'm also trying not to show too many complex, but hopefully next year. So the top, if we then bring into the middle. There we go. Oh, what's therapeutic? I've forgotten what I was saying, Eric. Clearly, I'm living in the moment. That's a good thing. So the bottom folding up to the middle. I think I've discovered the art of just chatting away to myself because sadly, in effect, that's what I'm doing. But I am thinking of you, and your comments really help. That's it. So hopefully it looks like kind of quite a nice, tidy little square. And yes, ooh, sandpaper, yes. Different papers, different materials make a big difference. So if you open up one end, and what we're going to do is do a diagonal line across there. So to do that, I'm going to open it up and bring this to line up there. Do you see? So it was like this. I opened it up and I'm bringing this line to that line, and that will give a nice diagonal line, which is what you're after. Like so. I could probably bring this up again, actually. That's it. Get a bit more feeling I'm here live. Great. And then the same thing on the other side. So I'm opening it up and bringing that down so it lines up. Like so. Great. Yeah, tan papers are really nice, aren't they? They're from Japan, are they? I think they probably are. Japanese papers are rather lovely. The Korean have quite a different feel, and actually I was very surprised because I was imagining lots of decoration in to see lots of decorative materials in Korea. Completely the opposite. It really is about minimalism and often quite refined, quite gentle colours. Actually, it's very different from the potentially quite bright designs and very intricate designs in Japan. Very different. Obviously, they're different, very different cultures. And yeah, not a very comfortable history, of course, for people in Korea. So, so you've done these diagonals, and if you folding that down, it now looks like a house. Actually, that would be a different thing. There we go. But both countries do lots of origami, so it's been really nice to visit countries that do origami. There we go, as part of their culture a lot more. So the other end, again, taking that side and bringing it down there. Oh, Korean kite paper. Oh, I'll have to look that up. Discovering the joys of trying to do these things upside down. That's not working, is it? Sorry, I'm going to have to do this down here. So taking the side, I'm chatting too much, aren't I? As soon as I'm onto something simple, I'm actually concentrating on it less, probably. So just doing that diagonal and then the other side. So is that to make actual kites, presumably? Wow, that'd be very cool. Has anybody folded a kite and flown it? I've not even thought about that. There we go. So hopefully it looks like this sort of, oh, huge pot of Korean. Oh, wow. Oh, I'll definitely have to look that up. That sounds very interesting. Gosh, didn't see any kites, but I guess in a capital city, there's not really so much opportunity, is there? I know it's just a brief visit. Have any kites made with that? Oh, nice. That sounds great. Yeah. And actually we've been flying kites, one that we'd got from a charity shop one time a few years ago. It's been really lovely. They feel so free, don't they? You need a really windy day. Today's not the day. But on a lovely windy day, you can feel so free. So really all we've got to do next is take one of these sides and fold it up. You've got obviously this side is now your fan, and this one, fold it down, and you've got the shape. So I would recommend a bit of decoration. What do you think? I think that's made it. And Kite Festival would be, wow, fighting, wow, fighting cream kites. Goodness, actually, this does look quite fighting, doesn't it? This is making me think of that. Interesting. So is that? Oh, can you put anything on the line? This kind of brings back memories of. Can people put on things they shouldn't onto lines so that they could cut other people's wires? That would be a bad tip, wouldn't it? Right, so I reckon if we can do a bit of colouring, yeah, I think this would be nice. And then I'll show you how to sort of open it out. Potentially, if you wanted to, you could glue little sides just to make it a more stronger shape, and then we'll put it on the stick. So I hope that's been working for you. I'm going to just add a bit of colour. Why not? Grab some pens. No right or wrong with these things, but a little bit of expression I think is quite fun. Just got to grab some pens. Why not? I reckon it makes it a little bit more dynamic, and actually, when it turns, you've got a little bit more feeling of it moving when you've got different coloured sides. So up to you if you feel like decorating. So, do you want to do anything more? Maybe I'll extend those lines a bit. Have a little play, but I think it'll make it a little bit more interesting if you feel like it. Definitely in need of the break. I hope that some of you are able to, even if it's just, at home, just trying to do things a bit differently. I mean, certainly in this temperature, it feels like we're in another country, so it just feels hard to do anything, actually, doesn't it? Just too hot. Okay. So I've decorated mine. I don't know if you felt like doing that for yours. So the crucial bit is at the moment this looks like a fan, but it's not going to blow around very well because you need pockets to be able to blow into. So each of these will open up. Oh, I'll make a jackstone out of mine. That's a good idea. So each of these you can sort of press open a bit. Can you see? Also, I found it quite useful if you wiggle each of these just so it's a little bit more freestanding and making that pocket. So that's it. I'm just getting these a little bit free so that the back of the fan holds down and that these open up. As I was saying, I've not really done this at all before, but I've rather enjoyed it. It's nice that it can move. And at the moment, blowing makes me feel a bit cooler and a little bit liberating. So something like that. If you wanted to, only if you want to. I know this is completely getting away from the purist, but I think because it needs a drawing pin and a stick anyway, if you want it to move separately, then why not? I think you could. So I'll just show you how you can do this if you want to strengthen it a bit. So the idea is that they need to have a direction to them. So you could add a little bit of glue under each of these sides. Do you see? And that's held it down in that right position. So I guess I've coloured on one side. It's the side that I haven't coloured on, and it's giving it a stronger shape. So just a tiny bit of Pritt stick. Don't use much glue, but just helps a little bit. And again here I'm going to add a little bit. But I found that the one that I've done this for does, I think, look a bit better actually. Bit more what you're looking for. And again, here's the colourful side. It will hold it down in the right direction. So again, a little bit there. That's it. There we go. It looks nicer, doesn't it? And it's only needed a little bit. So next, maybe, oh, and actually here you can see it spins quite well already. So if you hadn't got a drawing pin, and she says, but you can move it around. You might just about be able to blow it around. Sometimes I can, but it's much better on a stick, really. So if you have a stick and a drawing pin, and I'm afraid I can't do this one up in the air. So if you take your drawing pin and you're going to push it through the middle, and you may find it sort of holds it closed, which looks rather nice, but it possibly won't fly around quite so well. I'll show you in a minute. But basically putting that through, it's gone through the back and the middle, and then I'm going to push it onto the stick. Now, of course, do that pressing it down because it's safer. You don't want to push it into your finger. But hopefully you can push it through. Drawing pin I found definitely better. So you want it to sort of go through, so there's a little bit of a gap, and then that way it will all fly around more easily. Possibly, actually it looks like it will spin okay. You might want to release, can you see it's almost pushed down the flaps of paper? You might want to untuck those. That's what I've tended to do, and I've found that it's flown around more happily. Oh dear, my drawing pins come out. This is real Blue Peter stuff, isn't it? Of course it doesn't go as perfectly when you're live on camera, but that's all right. It's part of the fun of it, isn't it? So I'm slightly trying to undo those, but maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. Again, all these things you discover by doing things yourself, really. So I've slightly tried to unhook those, and I found that for me that's tended to work better, but do have an experiment. Let's see whether this works. So I guess you need to have a go at blowing into the pocket. Yes, that worked very well. And there is something rather lovely about having different colours, because it all then kind of blurs, and it's interesting. And it's safe for me to blow this way and safe for you too. So has that worked for you? I'm hoping it has. It's probably something that you've made before. For me, it was brand new, so it's been quite exciting. Simple pleasures that you could make your own fan is rather wonderful. The tracing paper is a really not sticking. Fair enough. I think it's fine. It will still work. It's just it looks slightly neater this way. If you want it to glue, yeah. But the tracing paper is a brilliant idea, because that way you can have it outside and maybe as decorations. Oh, yeah, good tip to have a key. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, everyone. I hope you'll have a good couple of weeks, and I'll be back that first Wednesday of September. So please do remember. I hope you won't mind that I'm. Yeah, thank you. I hope I can have a good break. It's not that easy, to be frank, is it, to have a break? But I'm just trying to do it for my own mental well-being, because I've been doing 21 folds, and I've been making a film every week, learning that fold. This one was obviously an easier one, and doing the live folds and trying to create awareness of it. So I think it's just healthy to give a break, and maybe for you as well. So if you are feeling that you're missing it, thank you. Then do maybe there's films that I've been making of ones you haven't tried. Please do look around elsewhere. Pick up a book. Maybe you can look online. People have shared all sorts of brilliant folds, so it would be maybe a chance to check out different things. Maybe you can share them with the group, and make your own little discoveries. Thank you. And I'll be back in September and we'll just see what we make then. But for now, I reckon we all ought to, well, whenever we can, to get outside, enjoy summer while it's here. And then it's much easier as well to maybe meet with friends at that safe social distance. But parks for now are a lovely place to be. So let's enjoy nature and looking after ourselves and, yeah, and just a time to just lift our spirits. And then hopefully, well, Origami will be there for us as it draws to September and towards autumn. So I'm looking forward to it already. But for now, let's all take a lovely break. And thank you for understanding too. It took me a little bit of persuasion to go, actually, I should have a break too. So yeah. So just to set a good example. Anyway, look after yourselves, everybody. As ever, so lovely to have you join and as a little group, and you've been making those links with each other, which I think is really good. No, that's fine, Penny. I know I'm always making little random mistakes and typos as well. So take care and see you September. Bye. Enjoy the fans.